All right then. So I thought we'd start off by sort of talking about what the cause is. How did it come about? Why did London need another venue?
The cause is it's a sort of DIY, completely independent space that I've basically been running parties, underground parties, sort of random space across London for a couple of years before that, and I was always looking for a permanent space where I could bring that kind of free community sort of spirit.
The DIY bit is quite a big part of what you do here, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's just like various friends I'd met on the circuit came together, we found this space, and we just decided to build a club and just try and do something a bit more sort of local focused.
Yeah,
so.
You do a lot of crowdfunding as well, like fundraisers.
Yeah.
Can you talk us through that? What are the sort of causes you supported in the past?
We've done loads of, literally just loads of fundraisers since we started. We're primarily doing it for mental health charities. So CALM, which is a campaign against living miserably, which is dedicated to preventing male suicide. And Mind in Haringey, which is Mind's a national mental health charity, but they have local branches everywhere. So we reached out to the Haringey branch. We got on really well with them, and yeah, we fundraised probably about just over 30 grand for each of those since we've opened.
Was that always the mission? Was it always the mission to do this crowd like fundraising, or was that something that sort of grew out of the venue itself?
We just looked at we found a space. It was nice, and we wanted to sort of give something back. To the community, basically. We're just looking at different things to do. Mental health in Haringey was quite a big
prominent issue.
Problem.
Yeah.
And we just thought, obviously, it was quite sort of, there's lots of people in the dance music industry which sort of come out to speak about it. There's a couple of sort of quite high-profile deaths around the time, so we thought we'd just try and use the space constructively and then fundraise to help people locally.
Nice.
And nationally via CALM, and just try and give something back.
What you're trying to do, what are you giving away in return for the money? Talk us through that process.
Yeah, we're just trying to give some value to what we're doing. So we've got quite a few rewards. Some of them are t-shirts. We've done a little social dancing, Saves Lives t-shirts, which have been really popular. Which sort of fits in with what we do in terms of we do believe that dancing is actually very good for your mental health, and it's a bit, the mental health issues due to COVID and not seeing your friends it's a bit of a subliminal message there. There's t-shirts. Wolfgang Tillmans, who's a pretty famous German artist and photographer, he's donated a load of prints to us, and with a project called 2020 Solidarity, and he's pulled together a load of 50 different artists from across the world, and he's done it as a project to support lots of struggling music venues and arts venues across Europe.
Nice. And so you're one of the venues.
Yeah, we're one of those. Yeah, so we've picked 5 of the artists, and we're sending the prints on there.
Yeah.
Which has really given us a lot of credibility, and people who perhaps wouldn't have come to the space, but they've taken note that there's people like Wolfgang kind of going, wow, actually this is quite a serious thing.
Tapping into a different.
Yeah, exactly. So that's really helped.
Let's talk about we mentioned there's a lot of people that come here all the time.
Yeah.
You've got the same crews, this movement from sort of underground parties to not commercial, but if you're now mainstream, you have to follow certain rules. By being a venue. Do you think your booking policy, this idea of last minute acts, encourages a certain crowd, and is that crowd representative across everything that's going on in London, or do you think you've created your own sort of niche sort of style?
We definitely our crowd has definitely been networked basically through various people. We have we know people that have potentially done a small party here or there, and we get their crews in, and we've always sort of picked up, because we've got so many different rooms here, we can get different people hosting stuff, so it's always been like friends.
That's what you do. The Tribes is obviously one of your big popular parties.
Exactly. And we do really long hours, so we get quite a lot of time to program, like 16 hours sometimes across up to 8 different rooms. So we have quite sort of like a vibe where people kind of know each other.
But how supportive is the London scene supported by the council? Like you see Berlin, Amsterdam, these sort of cities, or do you wish there was more for venues?
I mean, it's been tough for a lot of people. Licensing's got a lot stricter, especially sort of Hackney ways, perhaps Peckham. The sort of the sway of residents moving into places and then having to go at venues which might have been there for longer. Just the the cost of even doing these operations, and there's not really any helping hand from any of the councils anywhere. But what I would say is I think after this, I've got a feeling there'll be more forgiveness.
Yeah.
And there'll be less pressure on certain things. So I think it's going to be easier. There's going to be more businesses struggling. There'll be a lot more empty buildings. It's potentially easy to get planning permission. I don't know. This is all just my theory.
Yeah,
it's like,
we've got to wait and see what
they need
happens
to stimulate some sort of economy and business. So
some sort of growth.
It'd be really stupid to make it more difficult for us.
Of course.
And just as long as places can somehow operate safely, and then I don't see any. I don't know. I think they will.
How about like the venues? So obviously everyone had their doors shut sort of instantly, no training. Before COVID-19, was there sort of the team, like people working together between venues, or was it people working in their own patches? Do you see that changing after, has that changing after COVID?
I've worked stuff in other cities and it's much more cutthroat.
Yeah.
I think people in London, because it's big, people could kind of get on with their...
And sort of accommodate each other a little bit.
Sort of stuff a little bit, but, I think some people did sort of stick to themselves a little bit. But yeah, obviously since COVID-19, everyone was basically all up shit creek together.
Yeah.
And all in the same boat, and suddenly everyone started going, right, well, what, are you all right? Like, how are you getting on? And started communicating, and people were sharing, bits of information or tips. So that's been quite interesting.
Everyone's sort of been in the dark, haven't they? So if we're in the dark, have you got some info that might help me? Have I got some info? Is it that sort of relationship? So
yeah, and I don't know. I don't think it's such a people just want to get out of it rather than to the top. But everyone else, they just literally want to get out of it and get on with it.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. In terms of how you're going to book stuff going forward, obviously a lot of things are going to change. There might be restrictions on travel.
Yeah.
A lot of people have lost their jobs, redundancy. Don't know whether people are going to be spending money.
Yeah.
Do you think I'll foresee a change in the way venues, promoters, artists operate together, how they work? Do you see
there is already a change.
Yeah, so you have been seeing a change.
I saw something in Rolling Stone today about Live Nation releasing their new terms for this is more live acts. And I think it's in America, and suddenly everything was bent. It was much more towards the promoter and protecting them. So cancellations and stuff like that. It was almost gave them a bit more. The liability wasn't always on the promoter. Yeah. So that's obviously going to sort of drift down towards other areas of music, dance music. That's America. It'll come to the UK. I think it will. But I mean, the fact that everyone is so sort of, close to basically falling down. Everyone needs to support each other and be understanding.
Well, and that's the foundations dance music was sort of built on as well, isn't it? And
it's been sort of, I think it's been a bit outweighed against certain venues and certain promoters of certain sizes. And I think as long as they can be strong, they should be able to rebalance it. But a lot of people probably will go back to the old ways.
Yeah. Well, do you think it's that maybe people slip into those bad habits or go into those old ways because they think their one action doesn't have a consequence? So, for example, if someone paying an inflated booking fee, they might go, if I pay this inflated booking fee because I really want this artist, they don't realise that then sets a precedent for that. And so, when people talk about booking fees beforehand, do you think,
I think some people just like to be sold to.
Yeah.
Basically.
Fair enough.
And there's going to be lots of people selling stuff which is still
rubbish.
Not necessarily rubbish, but just doesn't add up.
Fair enough.
We've done so many shows here, and we've had artists on, and we're literally pushing stuff so hard, spending money on advertising them, and then we barely break even.
But do you think that's also because there's so many options in London?
If you go to more.
Well, very, very true. Yeah, if you're paying for it, you should sell a certain value, I guess.
Yeah. But I don't know yet. It's difficult because obviously artists need to get paid, the agents do need to get paid, the managers need to get paid. So I just think a fairer system needs to come in place. I've been proposing splits with some agents. Some are open to it.
Are they splits sellout bonuses or work on that sort of idea?
I mean, I've been pretty. I'm not trying to tie up anything at the moment.
Yeah,
I've just presented ideas, and the first sort of step of it is we might be able to open the garden soon.
Yeah.
And we don't know if we're going to have 120 capacity, if it's 4 people per table, 120 people, or if they reduce it down from 2 meters to a meter, and we get 6 people, then we get near 300. So it's just like what we can get in is completely irrelevant. So then I just say, like, this is what I can get in, and I need some money from the door because I'm paying 12 staff on for 120 people. I'm not going to make anything. So can you know, understand our situation and work with just easy deals that are delivered and don't have any hassles and like throwing everyone around.
There's been a lot of talk at the moment and a big media coverage around the BLM movement. Obviously, dance music's very much rooted in black culture. Do you think the scene in general should be doing more? Is there enough being done? What's your view or your take on all of it?
I mean, it's been really nice and good to see so many people motivated and discussing it and educating themselves and having opinions and just like, you know, being quite charged over it. And that's sort of, it's been good that people have taken it on board. And I went to the protest and lots of other sort of people, I'd like to say privileged white people within the industry, they'd been in it. It was just nice just to
do you think,
absorb it all and recognise the problems that.
Do you think beforehand people were naive to it? Like we're sitting here discussing it now. Do you think these conversations should have been happening before, or is it like, right, we know what's going on now? Now we can actually make proper real change rather than it just being like a fad sort of thing.
I do think there's an element of it being a fad, in all honesty, because we're locked down, people are bored.
Some subject matter to talk about.
It just seemed to catch on fire, and I think people would potentially, putting their post out, and I still think there's a lot of people still don't understand a lot of the deep-rooted issues, and it's just there's so many issues and so many problems of the way things have been dealt with that it's not going to work. It's not going to happen just by weeks by social media.
But I guess that was sort of it was the dance music industry that actually started the Black Square and that Blackout Tuesday, and obviously that's then sort of multiplied with people outside of electronic music and music in general, just I guess normal civilians. But like that. So, but I guess as long as the conversations are starting. It was never going to be that 100% of people change their ways. But I guess it's that first step in it.
I mean, I've had loads of basic conversations and people, commenting on the way, that festival or that show should have had a bit more thought into its programming and should have been more equally represented. And people are kind of looking at things and analysing them quite a lot at the moment. Hopefully that will sort of continue. You just accept it, like even from security, a couple of posts up and lockdown.
Yeah, well, this is it. That's the issue. I guess the big question, isn't it? Yeah. How much of that is just a gesture, and how much of that is real changing of the way people think, the way people act, isn't it?
It's definitely done with best intentions.
Of course.
People they will get busy and
life and it all comes in.
So
what about let's talk about the plans for the next couple of months. Outside space, talk me through that.
The outside space we're trying to rush through and make it look nice in as short time as possible between when they announce we can open. So we're going to build a DJ booth just out there, which will look out onto the courtyard or the terrace.
And is that because you've got the raised area now that you built a couple of months ago? So will that look over that space as well?
Well, that's the booth is right. I don't know if you can see it there, but it comes out of the wall, a little glass frame. So that'll look over there. We've got sort of multicoloured pergolas going around. Seating. We've got food from Club Mexicano, which is a really banging vegan street food, Mexican street food.
Okay, are they a permanent fixture?
So they're looking to come in. We've got People's Burger as well, which used to do really good burgers as well. So we'll have decent food offering. It'll be more sort of chilled out, sort of like, we don't want to miss-sell it as a full-on rave. It's going to be...
It's what we need.
We're expecting to be told that everyone has to sit down and be table service. Yeah.
Wicked. Well, thanks very much for your time, mate.
Cool. Thank you.
That's the RRP TV, and we'll sign off there.